Okay, Fambulem, I bring warm greetings to Una from the TNN TV podcast. Today, now the 25th of February, 2025. And we will talk to Una. I mean, 2026, Una, forgive me, of course. I dare go back with the date. And we sort of half an hour late. But of course, me sincere apologies. Sometimes you just can't help it. I don't know why, but we're trying to fix this problem. But I must apologize to Una. But the thing that's most important is we should come along and bring the program. This program, as some of Una will have seen, is specifically labeled, topicked, subjected, dedicated to the First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Fatima Bio, and we title her presidential ambition. And there's a question as to her presidential ambition, which is expressed on many occasions, on many platforms, and so many different times. So the question here is it real? Is it imagined? Is it a national distraction, as most people are not beginning for they think, as if there's something bigger behind the picture? Or is it just a kabuki theater? And we so call it kabuki theater, which I believe is new to a balance. And the kabuki theater is likely got to do with the Japanese, some form of Japanese style dancing, in which there is this massive, colorful costume, makeup. I mean, something for wow the audience, but it also has a political sort of interpretation or posturing, which is also known as a political grandstanding, from the notion of performing to crowds in the grandstands. So it become known as political theater, or otherwise known as kabuki, which is the use of speech or action to gain political support through emotional or affective appeals, and so forth and so on. You tell me if the First Lady is very far away from this description that I've just given. So, ladies and gentlemen, I bring you once more a very pleasant good evening, a good morning, and good afternoon, because we're broadcasting to a large segment of the world who are listening to us. I want to say a special welcome to tonight's special live stream, which is an eye-opening civic conversation on a topic that has been stirring debate, raising eyebrows, fueling speculations, and so much more across the country. And I get few people that we get for help with this conversation here tonight. It was meant to be a monologue, but there are a lot of people who are kind of excited that they want to participate. And we see civic duty, something we don't feel speculation regarding the ambitions of the First Lady, as has been expressed by none other but the First Lady herself, whether in a kabuki theater, just performance, for distract people from the real stuff. So with me, I get two of my very distinguished sisters, this platform are very familiar with. When I don't see them many a times, they get their own program on this platform. It's called the Roundtable. And I want to say thank you very much to them for taking their time off at short notice for bring them onto the program. And they are none other but Sister Khadija, waiting on my immediate right on the screen, or on our immediate right on the screen. And on the far right of Sister Khadija is Sister Janet Sopamoy. I mean, they are no strangers. They've been, raising eyebrows with their intellect and the way they know they articulate issues and exercising their civic duties and constitutional rights about the country, Sierra Leone. So, my two dear sisters, lovely sisters, I wish for welcome Una to the platform once more. I've never had the opportunity for host Una. Una get on a own show called Roundtable, which is causing waves, is new, but it's making inroads into a community. Sometimes the process is slow and painful, but it's gaining traction. But today, I am privileged for hosting all two on a very, very important topic on the ambition of the First Lady in terms of the presidency of the Republic of Sierra Leone. So if I can just begin on me immediate right with Sister Khadija. I mean, in terms of the subject matter, what's your view? What do you think? What's your opinion on this issue about the First Lady of the Republic wanting or intimating that she would like to be the president of the Republic of Sierra Leone?
Hello, Famudem. In a Creole, we talk on English.
In and out.
Okay,
Yeah,
yes. All right. Yeah, I mean, Khadija, Famudem, I'm glad for being so. And thanks, Brother Prince, for inviting me and my sister Moy to join you today. About the question, I think I not just want for talk about the First Lady of Sierra Leone, Mrs. Beale. I think we need for when it comes in terms of the laws of Sierra Leone, we have to look at all the what do you ambitious people who want to be president of Sierra Leone. And I think when we talk about intentions of anyone for one to be president, it has to apply to the constitution. So it has nothing to do with whether you're first lady, your second lady, or third lady. It has to do with the Constitution of Sierra Leone. And the 1991 Constitution of Sierra Leone says you have to be birthed in Sierra Leone to become president of Sierra Leone. And I believe this law applies to parliamentarians as well. So when we talk about want to be president, of course, we know there are so many of them out there, right? Even women who want to be president. So it's all about the birth. It's about the laws of the country. It's about the laws of Sierra Leone, the constitution. 1991, I believe, is mainly section 41. It says you have to be birthed, not naturalized, not because you're married to the president of Sierra Leone or the mighty whatever, or judge or anything, or any kind of profession, parliamentarian, anybody. Does it matter? If you therefore be born as Sierra Leone, the law of the country of Sierra Leone say you therefore be born. That is, your mama born you in Sierra Leone. Your umbilical cord is in Sierra Leone. So it means that because you're married to president, you're married to judge, or you're married to doctor or whoever, when Australian enough for qualify you for become a president of Sierra Leone. So Sierra Leone is ruled by the laws and not the constitution. So 1991, mainly section 41, reference that. And I go really encourage Sierra Leoneans, rather than when I sit down and debate this or think this way or think that way, there's a law when nobody know they're above. So why we not go just reference that? Why we get for even speculate? Even if somebody voice them, you get for be born as Sierra Leone. Yes, many people could be born wherever God said that they are born, but the law it applies to that. The
Okay.
law of Sierra Leone. So that's the first thing. I think the most important thing anybody for talk about when it comes to wanna be president of Sierra Leone.
So I'll go ask you a quick question or two before I go to Sister Janet Sopamoy, which is you've made quite a good point, quite a critical point, because we need to talk out of emotion. What we are doing here, I believe, tonight, and what you've just made clear to the listening public is about the Constitution, the supreme law of the land, what it says regarding the subject matter about the presidency, who that can aspire, who that fit for be the president. So first thing we talk about, you have to be a citizen, a born citizen, indigenous person, na the land. So will that mean that the first lady is not indigenous to the country? She wasn't born in the country. She's foreign or something. Is that what you're trying to tell the general public? We make her not qualify?
Why not to me tell the public that the Fatima Jabi Bio, na in self talker. Na in you becoming they was I born. Na in self attest to that say a born na Gambia in a Gambian. It's in the internet. Anybody can go see them. Na in self attest to that. And there are books, there are records of that say in a born Sierra Leone. So, but also waiting in say the community was I commot, was I then raise them, was Sierra Leone embrace them as a child. We come and grow up in Sierra Leone. The community also knows that. So, but the
Okay.
first in not in say that.
So
And
let
I
me play
will-
one quick video for Fambul and let we see whether we can. There are some takeaways from this video of the First Lady herself.
I'm a Gambian, and of course, you've said my name, Fatima Jabi, and I'm an actress. I'm a mother, and yes, I am, and I've done a lot of things that.
So obviously, this is a really short video, courtesy of Paps. And we can hear the First Lady herself. I mean, videos don't lie. You can splice them, you can dice them, you can cut them, but it doesn't really lie. She's proclaiming proudly that she is a Gambian, and there are even more videos of her, you're laying more emphasis on her Gambian roots. And when she came to Sierra Leone, how old she was. Maybe at some point during this program, we go play them. That brings Sister Moy come in quickly. Sister Moy, and to the listening viewership, tonight, what we are asking is a simple but very powerful question. There's been a rumor going around for quite a period of time now, which has caught the attention of a great many of we compatriots them with fellow citizens, with fellow countrymen. And this rumor is about the presidential ambition of the First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone, who happens to be Madam Fatima Jabi Bio. The question here is this ambition being harbored, expressed by the First Lady, is it real? Is it a political distraction? I mean, there are many people where they subscribe to that theory. They say it's a political distraction because the First Lady will know that she's not qualified just by waiting. We earlier speaker said, Sister Khadija, that she's not qualified, and she will know this. But if she continues to insist that she wants to be the president or harbor such intention, is either that she's deluded, or take the Sierra Leonean people for granted. But the question to you, Sister Moy, do you think that the ambition harbored by the First Lady is real, or is it just a political distraction or theater?
Yes. Good evening, Miss Fabulem, and wherever you day, good afternoon, good morning, depends to the time where you listen to it. As we all know, Mina Moy. And thank you to my sister, Madam Khadija, for the updates we don't bring come. When we talk about Fatima Bio in ambition, where it gets, over first of all, try for we to make a short clarity now say. Now some of the bad legacy this way, Mother Bio don't face Canada country. Mother Bio is not a good person in the country. Now in office can this bad seed where Bio gets. And first of all, one for let the world know thing. Every country in the world, they get constitution. And they respect that constitution. The reason why, because no one will live like animals. Even the animals then are in kingdom, they get discipline. So likewise, we human being, now the same way we supposed for day. If all man decide for say me, I want be doctor, who that go be pilot, we go ride that plane for camp. So everybody's position is valued in the world. And because of that, they make a breakdown. When you go to school, where you attend self, then they ask you which department where you want for qualified, where you go want for you articulate, you go present to the people and then go no say yes, now this you qualify for, now this you go able work for. Because we all need one another. So the same way we cancel the constitution and salon, because of this same thing here, so people are not able for they uphold the reality. Let you get justice. Now, it will decide say we go form a constitution where everybody for follow up that constitution for let all man get an equal rights. But today, Mother Bio in bad legacy, now in don't lead we to the extent for letting woman come for saying one for be president. And it is not joke about it. But salon people in the field say where Fatima they come and say any utterances what we know say in negative na the country, with a fan we will look corner and say, but don't forget, well, not a reality. But in deep down, it is reality. Because if we check from what Mother Bio don't take power in that country, everything within they do now out of the constitution, then they bastardize everything. At the end of the day, they become successful with her. So I don't want let me salon people and sit down and underrate waiting Fatima Depa. Because Fatima, first of all, let the constitution don't make them very clear say, if you be a citizen by birth, when you mama born you get belle, you did not the country, it born you come out like in your belle, say yes, I don't born this speaking here. We know say you not in Sierra Leonean. We not care who say go get that belle day, who say they go get the belle or whatever. That's not the problem they ask here. But for lay, you make sure say that woman they born at the land of your country when as Sierra Leone. You are qualified to become a citizen and you get the right to participate in any function where the country authorize any member within that country they for you belong to. Whether you want to become a politician, you want just be a supporter or whatever. That's like opportunity that you right, like constitutional rights, that you birthright. But coming to Fatima Bio, it don't openly come out say, not so they born me. We all know people that way grow up with her in mama a day, in all diet, in no say yet, in not born in the kingdom. But because of Fatima, in ambitions where it gets, it don't desperate today, it want for undermine the constitution now, for let them impose say yes, Fatima go day, they become president. Because the anything where they talk, they want to make sure say it come to pass. So if we sit down as Sierra Leoneans then, we say, no, we just wait no more, and you know go happen, you know go happen, you know go this so, now lie. It go must come to reality. And it go face can disgrace now the whole world for space Sierra Leone. We are not even qualified for them in any other place because we're not serious. Now that they tell me. Who said we parliamentary and then they parliamentary members they will be put then they. Who said then they for let them see say the constitution it will be in the hands of a positive way where we all go justify say yes, where the person say he become a president if I follow the constitution. Because the same 1991 constitution, where you go to section 75, it spell them out very clear. So why is it that Sierra Leoneans they will not uphold? But now here in the Mother Bio come and tell we say Sierra Leoneans then love be truthful, love uphold the laws of the country. But in the uphold the laws of the country, Mother Bio come, the election where it's done today, he call himself president. Does he uphold the constitution, right?
No, no. And if I can just stop you there, and the reason why
Yes.
I'm stopping you there is because that's the next point that we will be going into.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't want to let you outrun me.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. And Fambule,
Yeah.
once again, I bring you the warmest of greetings from the TNN podcast. My name is Prince Emil Kurma, and today, na the 25th of February, 2026, and we're having a serious conversation, just like we promised. A conversation which is based on a topic that has been stirring debates and raising eyebrows in the entire country, fueling speculation across the country. So tonight, we are asking a simple question. Simple as it may be, is very powerful indeed. And it is about the rumored presidential ambition of a First Lady, Madam Fatima Jabi Bio. Is it real? Is it just a political distraction? And so forth and so on. And we are really opening salvo from two of we guests, them who are very much informed and waiting and they talk about it make absolute sense, and it's not out of emotion, it's out of the record, it's out of justification, it's out of something which is evidence-based, hard evidence, based on the constitution of the land. What does it say? That's what you heard them saying. So we're not in here say and they say. And it's not malice, it's not personal, it's just law for country. And this is a civic responsibility. But the question why I want to move forward as we ask this very simple question, where we say this is not about personality, and this is not really, an animus towards the First Lady as some people and go on for Siam, because we get people and definitely we go see that way. No, the country is bigger than every one of us, and we talk about a country and the future of a country. And on this basis, Sister Khadija, I want to ask that beyond the rumors where we the hearing, what does this conversation, and this is where Sister Janet Moy go, and in fact, Sister Khadija, before I come to you, let's just go back to Sister Moy so that it will continue in flow, because this is, I believe, where she was heading. So beyond the rumors, Sister Moy, what does this conversation reveal about the state of we democracy?
Yeah, just like I'm the try for major. They don't tell me say we constitution because we know they able for uphold. We, me, and with sister or family, we all responsible for waiting they go on. Because if we not agree, we not show honesty, we not show, say we not Sierra Leoneans there, with democracy value is gone. Now, we say we dey conduct an election, just like what I been talk, because of this constitution, it lead also for let we get election. Because the election, they show we say, not to all man go just be a leader. You get forget one person will go be the head. For say, when this done, ask this person, I ain't go face and car, or this person, I ain't go request. Then we'll listen to them, we'll view or do review or whatever, what he can tell me if not the reality we go give. So now this make the constitution day. So that election will come. When election come, who that win, then give. And that person go able to form a cabinet. Then cabinet members, then they all their districts, the way they represent. They get every zone, the way they represent. So people, if we did not the village, when at the remote one, where this say go take, you go take 1 month for like work a rich day. You must get representative where go day for can't give that word to you say now. So the government say do waiting your input. But if it's today, we don't get democracy where people don't suffer, where we come, we don't hear it and say, oh, by the way, don't fix so, and I know they don't fix so. See, they not hear all those names. They are no more valued. Nobody need to strive for let them show say people in the day will liberate for let we get the democracy where we fix for. What we people in the fix for, we ancestors they fix for. But one person just don't come today. It bastardize everything. So if you mother bill don't come, it's not able to show respect where he can say, let we respect the rules of law. Let we talk, let we voice them come out, let be meaningful for let we add up to the constitution. But if they do the worst in the country, it's not honest to the Sierra Leone people. And they disrespect the Sierra Leone people. Mother bill come out na yaso, it goes now a foreign land, then they ask him about the education where he even can lie. Now in manifesto, not to be the talker. Mother Bio say the past regime, what they mean, they have power. When Anes Koroma, they never did anything. All was a scam. It don't come for show reality. It said this is a new direction. So people should vote for him to make a change. But when it comes today, where is the change? He used in wealth for letting muscle all the constitution of the country. And how he get that? Now, because the one where they say anti-corruption, now a family man, the first lady Olam imposed with him as a family man, even be a godmother, so they're married. So when they say investigation, they need to investigate the first lady. Even in when at the Ben Kalfala, when anti-corruption, here comes, it out on the social media. I'm not the one saying it. It don't come out, instead they don't come make a statement, say the also it went on. But today, it's turned around for all the person in oath, in property, for let it try for let claimer. It's not a criminal. So this now the thing we don't do, there is no value anymore for the democracy. When you talk, they owe you. So we don't encourage FATIMA Bio for let even go that side, for let even sit down some side and talk and people clap for her. Sierra Leone people for debunk that from FATIMA, not for entertainer. You get the rights for let you turn up before FATIMA for tell and say, you're not gonna be a president of the country. You have no rights. That guarantee they do not give you. We not say you pick where you born or where you born for we say na mother bio that in born that picking. Because FATIMA na can tell people and say then Arari Gallem. But we go come. The same way FATIMA bio they change with Sierra Leone people then for say then go and sleep with man them. So when time go come, we go ask and say in picking self, we not even trust FATIMA because FATIMA na a criminal in a lie. In picking where say now we picking where born for mother bio. Time go come where instead we go ask them they is show the evidence for saying in a citizen of Sierra Leone.
DNA. So
Yes,
that makes
DNA, yes. The DNA,
So that-
because Fatima counted with Pekin, Edwina openly say it sleep with Mandem. That's so disgusting. So that don't disqualify her for first of all, for the people where they say Fatima for be a president. That don't disqualify her. Because as a mother, you know they go openly for disgrace you Pekin them. We all as a mother, we get to pain. Where we Pekin and they go through. Even a boy Pekin, whether a girl Pekin, we they face the challenges them. Mr. Say what
Okay.
so I get a big boy Pekin, and they can for can't talk say now so many Pekin they do so, now so many Pekin they do so, if they fall a woman there, they do so. No, you don't have to say that. As a mother, you have to be moderate. But if you Fatima, you they say that a first lady, you they kind of a public platform, if they disgrace other woman there, trust me, you are not qualified to be a president.
So absolutely, I think your views go resonate with a huge number of your fellow country people, and because why? Just on the basis that it make absolute sense. If you're not the guardian of somebody or something, you have to make sure that you protect, that thing, that you don't come out, and just sort of say the things the way the first lady say. Let me just be direct. I mean, that was very, very unbecoming, to borrow a terminology from Sister Dr. Babi, una comrade in conversation. Very unbecoming of the First Lady. Yes, the First Lady, in self namota money get heart, but in need for exercise, restraint, patience, and just like you say, like as a mother. You won't do this to your child, and just come out, So even if Edwina was in that situation, it's not in your business to come out and can't say this to the general public, this speaking. Come on, that was below the belt. And yeah. But Sister Moy, thank you so much, for your contribution here to this program tonight. I hope for see you on Friday, and I will pose the same question and final question to Sister Khadija about, the things that we'll talk about, the First Lady way you don't make a bit of a contribution, but just the same question I posed to Sister Moy. Beyond the rumors about the First Lady harboring ambition for become the president of the country, in terms of with democracy, how you see this conversation where they on go about in ambition for become president. What do you think, or how do you think it make with democracy, for look like, even before it happened? Just the idea that she's expressing that feeling when there is a body of evidence that says she is not qualified by law, by the supreme law of the land, the Constitution of the Republic, which covers every one of us.
Well, in addition to the first point, we get for do with birth right, the way based on the Constitution of the country, when that is supreme law. For someone who is interested in husband or president, it took in front of, it's recorded. It's say if Emmanuel win, make it sleep with how many men more?
Yeah, it's say 50 man for Falaram na cutting 3.
Okay, so let's just forget about beside the laws of the country.
Yeah.
Somebody who want to be a leader in a country.
Yeah.
Does that sound like democracy? Absolutely not. Because if you believe in democracy or you practice democracy, you have to go by the rules of the rights of citizens for vote. Because that is citizen and right. You for depend on that, not on something else. As been alleged, first, number one is African press that she has this access to money.
Yeah.
Because I know these are the things that intoxicate people sometimes when they call power. It's not just power. It's the fact that majority of Sierra Leoneans since 2018, breast bag, for instance, was 200,000 per bag. And now it actually went up to 1 million, right? Until there was so much pleading or whatever, they brought it down to 650, 700,000, their own money. But the fact that this system or this regime, it don't impoverish people, so they cannot afford so much. And then you have someone who's been alleged that she has this access to money from the central bank, that it claims it, even though the location is.
Yeah.
But it wasn't alleged that she went to get the money, that she sent her sister, her brother, or blah, blah, blah. All these people in the First Lady's office, from my understanding. For somebody who's been alleged for unexplained wealth, having $1 million homes in the Gambia that has been investigated, because we don't know about others. I've always said this. This is the one that was investigated. And for someone where they think about the basic needs of the country. They join your husband for fly private jets all over the world for go impress people outside of Sierra Leone, because that's the way I see it. Because if you want impress Sierra Leoneans, very basic things: clean water, access to healthy food, medical, healthcare, where then people, even government hospital, people go there. If you don't get money for buy that medicine for injection, even the needle you have to pay for. These are the ways you can impress the citizens of Sierra Leone, or for anybody where one for be president in Sierra Leone, And so many of these allegations, have, does not show the character of a leadership. That's, but I believe say the Constitution is number one, is supreme. So all the other things, I don't see the competency there, or someone who show even love for the country. It's not there, because you have to love your country. You have to care. First $1 million home. So how we every say day. Not to Gambia. What I say it come out. So I don't even know why sometimes Sierra Leoneans, you for understand your rights. That is, the Constitution give you the right, whether for be a leader over you, or whether you for trust with your money from Sierra Leone. You see, this is a problem, because we don't know that all this money when they fly and spend or buy $1 million house, that money will belong to Sierra Leone. We for provide the basics, Forget about all this other thing. But I'm just, we just need we as Sierra Leoneans, we need for things say, we don't let people, I think like Brother Imran can always say, he said, Pupuna, they go up, only they come down. And that's what we are experiencing. That dirty word, but that's exactly what existence means today. We're beginning in our streets, drug addicts, they die in our streets. And people flying private jets, buying $1 million homes, they never sleep in there. Does that make sense? Is that what leadership is? That you better pass the people than within the country? No, I don't always say this. Better pass Sierra Leoneans. Just because you get access to all this things where they give you intoxication of privileges, of access to money. Ordinary Sierra Leoneans not get. No means say you better pass them at all. No. So basically, the fact is that all this go against somebody who want to be president. But the number one is the supreme one, the laws of the country.
Yeah. Yes, Sister Khadija, and Sister Janet Supermoy. I must say a huge thanks to you two for the contribution here tonight. I mean, this will go a long way, because again, if I should emphasize what's been said here, what has just been said is nothing but the fact I know you have people that will dispute that, but if you dispute that, please bring your counterfacts. Let's see whether it match up with what are the facts. We've made citations here. The Constitution of the Republic, what it says is as clear as daylight, as clear as ABC. Okay? If you are not of certain requirements, then you are not fit for what you want to aspire for. In other words, to be the president of the Republic of Sierra Leone, one of the first and most basic criteria is you have to be an indigenous Sierra Leonean. You have to be born of the soil. There is no if, no but, no compromises. So once again, I want to say thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for the two sisters. They've got a massive show on this platform. It's called the Roundtable Show, the Women's Roundtable, and they are articulating issues. They are shooting from the lips and not from the hip. And trust me, they're powerful and they're making waves. And the message is loud and clear, Sierra Leoneans. There are bigger things to come. 2028 is not really very far away, but the beginning of a mile, it starts with the first step. And that process is ongoing. And you can hear First Lady is expressing her intention of ruling the country, whether it's a distraction, imaginary, delusional, deceptive, or whatever. What's being said here tonight is she does not meet the requirement. Lonta. So thank you again once more, ladies. I really appreciate your contribution here tonight.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, bye-bye. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it. And I really appreciate the two sisters for the contribution they've made. And let's move on. So we'll be to talk about the First Lady in presidential ambition for become president of the country, whether it's real, imagine, or just a national distraction, or kabuki theater as a column, which is some kind of dance way full of razzmatazz, fool people with deception, the kind of dressing, sugar coating, if not makeup or whatever standard, you're just for bamboozle people. Is that what we are seeing? Is it real? And people in need for the talk about this. It needs to be spoken about. Okay, so we've been asked Fambolem, for share this program far and wide, because it's very important that other people get a message. They may not have heard or seen when we introduce the show, but hopefully we get others, then we go bring and come to their attention. So all of this that we've said again, Fambol, if I can just re-emphasize, this is not about personalities. This is really about systems. It's about the constitution or constitutional order. It is about our political culture and public trust. I'm asking you to share this stream. Please do share this stream so other people can have access to it or be privy to it. Invite your family, invite friends, and let's dive in, because we've only just begun. Right. Do you want to know why this topic really matters, the topic that we've carefully chosen tonight? Let's begin with the obvious, which is the conversation about Fatima Bio's possible presidential ambition. It just didn't come from thin air, okay? It emerged from somewhere. Where are they somewhere, or where is this somewhere? A, her increasing political visibility. B, her assertive public speeches, and C, her influence within the ruling party of which her husband emerged from, and the husband is the head of state of the country. And D, the silence of key government actors. And this is quite telling, and we all should be worried. We all should be really, really worried about this. That key government actors are really quiet about this. Why are they quiet about this? Why are they not making some noise about this kind of thing that's going on? Are they not concerned? Are they not worried? So the idea here is whether the ambition is real or imagined, as we intimated at the top of the program, the fact that the nation is debating this particular issue tells us something deeper. Our political environment lacks transparency, and citizens are forced to speculate instead of being informed, which is what this platform is dedicated to doing. You may not like the platform, but once you become a member of the platform or watch the platform with a critical mind, you understand the ethos, the objective, which is to inform, to inspire and educate minds. That's what we'll do. So I say again, whether the ambition of the First Lady is real, whether it is imagined, whether it's just a theater, the fact that the nation is debating this tells us something far, far deeper, which is our political environment. It does lack transparency, and citizens are forced to speculate instead of being informed. These are all just facts. That alone that I've just highlighted there in the last second is now a civic problem. It is a civic problem. Civic means you are very much informed about your country. You are familiar with your country. You are au fait with your country, what your country deserves, what it's asking for, what are your contractual duties. Once you're familiar with that and you live up to that expectation, then you are doing your due diligence. You are asking what your country asks of you. What can you do for your country? Not what your country does for you. Do for you. Okay? Let's look at the ambition, whether the ambition is real or whether it is a distraction. Some of it is theory, but some of it is backed up by some sort of evidence, circumstantial. In some cases, I believe, hard evidence. But are you with me? So let's take it down. Shall we just break down two dominant interpretations? A, the ambition, one, whether the ambition is real. Some analysts have argued that the First Lady is positioning herself for a presidential bid. I repeat, some of our analysts, and there are many of us now in this domain, have argued that the First Lady has positioned herself for a presidential bid for the future. That is, after her man will have left the position, her husband will have left the position. So we break it down into 5 parts, okay? 4 parts, which will be A, B, C, D. What are these parts that is provoking, that is nurturing, that is announcing, expressing this ambition of the First Lady? A, she's a very outspoken woman. We have to give her that. She's bold. She's brazen, she's ambitious, she's daring. So A, her growing political tone, she's becoming more emphatic, more dominant, more pronounced. It's like we person they gain confidence. The more you gain confidence, the more you step into the reality, because this could be her reality. B, her national and international visibility. Remember, this First Lady is not the conventional First Lady that we know. In fact, conventional First Ladies the world over. So it's not only related to Sierra Leone. Normally, First Ladies then get restriction as to the role when they perform, which is largely ceremonial. The problem with Madam Fatima Bio as our CM is she's very ambitious, and there's nothing wrong with being ambitious, is the way you pursue the ambition, stepping on toes, stepping on backs of people, and the weak and the downtrodden to get to where you are. You don't really sort of care, but you go give people an notion as if you do care, whereas you don't. So you make, some philanthropic move here, some generous move there, give somebody money here, pay school fee and which is all camouflage, okay? And we've seen all of this, and this is why we're asking these questions. And on the international scene, she's also got a presence, and because she's outspoken, she speaks on issues which are of prominence, which are of relevance to the world community, whether or not about social justice, whether or not about colonialism or neo-colonialism, and many more other issues pertaining to nation states within the global community. She appears to be very au fait with it, and she's got a very, very strong mindset on these things, or opinion on these things, which she does not hesitate to express using the powerful pulpit that she's got now as the First Lady of our country. She's also got a very strong influence within the ruling party. Very, very strong influence. Sa usa not get the influence, it break into that influence there. And somehow she's making waves. D, that was C. D is a strategic use of social programs. So either she's got a very clever set of advisors who are driving her campaign, but to me, it will appear herself, she's very much at the center in dictating the terms of what she exactly wants and how she wants what she wants. So she's at the center. She's not at the background or in the background and people dictating it for her. So she's got a strong presence and a strong personality and been very, very outspoken. The problem, again, that I can see there from my personal perspective and from the perspective of many others, which is rooted in fact, is some of our actions, is overt and over the top in terms of a constitutional requirement. We have to remember this fact that some of the actions that she's performing, some of the tasks that she's performing, is not within her remit. She's just the first lady of the president. She was not or is not an elected person, an elected official who has a different kind of a function, whose obligations, are to the people in a sense that the people can reject her, or she can perform and produce and promote policies. No, she's not an elected official. That's the bottom line. She's not. So we need to understand that. Again, talking about traditionality, in many countries, as I was saying, first ladies have transitioned into a formal political role. So the idea is not unprecedented. And this is new in this term. And this is the point that I was trying to point to, because traditionally, first ladies were in the background. They were more ceremonial. They perform ceremonial roles. They look after their husband, make sure that they are well-to-do, their well-being is okay. Public functions, they are in the background to make sure that it go well, planning and etc., and accommodating other first ladies that will be coming, but more within a private or conservative setting. But first ladies of this day and age are more pronounced, are more loud, are more ambitious, and they don't hesitate to use their power pulpit or their bully pulpit to express those sentiments, those notions of theirs. So that we will say that course of action has changed over the many years. Well, the other thing that I wanted to deal with as we asked the question initially is whether the ambition is a distraction, as others have come to believe. There are people who actually think or ask the question as to whether the First Lady, the ambitions that she harbor are just a form of distractions, while others believe the rumors does serve a purpose. So the distraction theory I've spoken about a couple of times in the last several months. I see it as such. And what others with critical minds have been asking is whether the rumors serve a different purpose, whether her ambitions as she expressed them is a distraction. Well, it is to shift attention from governance failures. So theoretically, some people think that even these are practical things that's happening because there's a massive failure on the part of government. Government supporters may not like to hear this, but it's just the fact that there's a massive failure on the part of government. And the First Lady in this regard, in this kind, is doing a very good job. Because the Kabuki theater that I talk about, this dance, flash, cosmetics, costumes, and gravitating the crowds towards her, the attention towards her, and away from what the reality is. It's real. Because it's happening. Government is not doing quite well. But you will have the First Lady every week. We'll see 2-3 videos of her will come out. And she just gives people that talking points. Bloggers, journalists, vloggers are all sort of interested in that because really and truly, First Lady is news. B is to overshadow economic hardship. We know that there's economic hardship because the economy is not doing well. A lot of people has fallen beyond the poverty line, the poverty belt. There's plenty of suffering in the country. So to camouflage this, you need some kind of a distraction theory. Again, here the First Lady does or is doing very, very well in distracting people from what the real problems are. So every time you see her on video, whether it be TikTok or one of the social media apps, dancing about what? Your people are struggling and suffering. But the dancing that she's doing is attracting people towards what she's doing, which is the dancing. But the dancing is accommodated by rumors of something. So either she's throwing hint, nothing that they pressure me, and we know that she's a human being. She falls under pressure. Coco Rose, she was really under pressure. You can see the expression on her face at the time. She was so down. And in fact, she expressed that. But she comes up with nothing that they pressure me, and people like that, and they go with the flow. And the distraction theory works because people take their minds off what the reality is, the economic hardship in the country. C is to divert focus from unresolved electoral controversies. She's very central in that, Famulem. Very, very central in that. To divert attention. Remember, this entire thing is centered on the diversion of attention from the realities on the ground. So one of them I've articulated two. This is the third one, which is electoral controversies. The controversies of the election of 2023 is not going away, will not go away. It's already in the books of history, but even though it's in the books of history, the conversation does continue to this day and will continue on and on and on. Because why? The results did not reflect the aims, ambitions of the people of the Republic. I mean, it was so blatant. It was so blatant that to forget it will be a travesty. So the people cannot afford to forget it. Yes, they are willing to move on, but that does not mean that they forget. They are willing to forgive, but that does not mean that they forget. Because if they forget, that means they can hoodwink them again into the same thing, and that's not going to happen for the second time. So here comes the First Lady. She's playing this dominant role, very good role of distracting people, getting people engaged in something else, whether a new dance he come with, and she's very good at performative arts. But in fact, at one point, this was her portfolio. So you can understand that. So she's very good at it. But just before I come to D, it won't end well because everything has got a time limit. Everything that goes up will come down. The only constant is change, and change is inevitable. It will happen, and it hastens or is fast track when those that are in power are not doing quite well. When you're doing quite well, you've got the natural support of the people, then you can last. But in this case, it's no. So there are other methods that have been used to control the people, divert the people, coerce the people, intimidate the people, threaten the people, which is happening on a daily basis. So D, they are testing, or the actions of the First Lady is being used to test the public reaction without making any official announcement. So other than making an official announcement to which people will remain suspicious anyway, because there's no trust between the people and its governors. There is no trust. So every announcement you make, every public policy announcement that you make, every other announcement that you make, government is a suspect because the people have lost trust in their government. So the First Lady's actions is intended to test public reaction without making any official announcement. So sometimes First Lady will come and speak. Of course, she's not an elected official, but she's performing those duties in a quasi way, if you will like. In the word slipped me. I will not use another word because I wanted to use the identical word. Attach meanings and relevance, to words, significance to words. Yeah, but that's exactly what she's doing. She does this on a daily basis with a video that comes out. And the video consumes the mind of the people. Depending on the depth of it, it's talked about for weeks. And by the time that video is dying down, there's a new scandal in town. Of course, the First Lady is ahead of the game. She's prepared another, and people sort of gravitate to what she's saying. So family and friends, my fellow countrymen, whether real or not, the conversation itself is a symptom of deeper democratic uncertainty in our country. I'm not sure how many people will deny this, that there's a deeper uncertainty in our country. How many people would deny this? Well, except you're a hardcore supporter of government, because even other supporters of government who are relatively sane, who've got two cell membranes to rub together to make sense, well, with some level of critical mind, still supports the government, but will accept some of the shortcomings and the shortfalls, that yes, there are difficulties, away from the extreme ones who believe that, well, it's all rosy, even though desperation, sufferation is so obvious. So whether real or not, the conversation, I will repeat, is definitely most definitely a symptom of a deeper democratic uncertainty in our country. Democracy is no longer certain in our country. The ones that we fought for, that tens of thousands of our compatriots died, perished, lost limbs, displaced, both within and without. And this is what we have today. This is what we've got. Shame on the leaders. Yeah. I want to move on to the First Lady being legally, or whether she's legally qualified to run. I know at the top of the segment, I dealt with this with our panelists who came in for a short time to help to deal with the issue. And they were very much clear, as I will now do emphatically. So I said that the Constitution is the guiding principle, is the guiding key, is the overall arbiter of protection for the people of the country. It's the supreme law of the land. So under the 1991 Constitution of our country, a presidential candidate must A, be a citizen of Sierra Leone by birth. It's not like what I'm going to say here is strange from the top of the program, what the two ladies help us to understand, even though I'm going to lay more emphasis and stretch it a little bit more. But exactly what we discussed at the top of the program with the guest is what I'm going to expand on, and probably a little bit more. So it says that under the 1991 Constitution, for you to even be a presidential candidate, because you have to be a presidential candidate in order for you to become president. So for you to be a presidential candidate, the requirement A has to be, you have to be a citizen of the Republic of Sierra Leone, not by any other means, simply by birth. It has to be by birth. That's the only way you are qualified. You have to be at least 40 years old. C, you have to be eligible to be elected as a member of parliament. You have to be eligible. Listen to the language. You have to be eligible to be elected. Not that you are a member of parliament, but there has to be some eligibility for you to be for you to become a member of parliament, a parliamentarian. C, you don't have to hold dual citizenship at the time of nomination. At the time of nomination, if you had dual citizenship or more, you have to renounce all the others before the nomination time. And I believe that there's a time period. It can't be nomination tomorrow and you say you renounce it today. It doesn't work that way. And D, not be disqualified due to criminal conviction or mental incapacity. I mean, you will be disqualified or you're not fit to contest for the presidency of the Republic or as a presidential candidate if you have a criminal conviction or mentally you are incapable or you are incapacitated, then you are not qualified to become president of the Republic of Sierra Leone. There is no constitutional clause, we need to understand this, that prohibits a first lady from contesting for president. There is no constitutional clause that prohibits the first lady from contesting for the presidency. So legally, if she meets the criteria, she's eligible. And let me break that down, what that means, before we get twisted or confused. So it's not that because she's first lady means that she cannot contest to be president. But if she will have to do so as she's intimating to the public, then the criteria that I've just read earlier on, if you don't mind, if you want me, go ahead again and read them, but I know that is soaked in because I love emphasis, then definitely I will. So, not because in a first lady, a married to the president, as at this time we make a first lady of the country, means say you not get right for harbor presidential ambition or for even contest for that position as a presidential candidate. But before doing so, she has to be qualified as stipulated by the Constitution of the Republic of Sierra Leone, which says that you have to be a citizen of Sierra Leone by birth, you have to be at least 40 years old, you have to be eligible to be elected as a member of parliament, an MP. You don't have to be a dual citizen or hold dual citizenship at the time of nomination. You could have relinquished that citizenship, dual citizenship, and only retain your Sierra Leonean citizenship. That's the country you want to aspire for. That should be done before nomination. And you have to be of sound mental capacity, sound mental mind, and don't have any criminal conviction. So despite you being the first lady and you're qualified too, I mean, it doesn't deny you to contest, but you have to meet this criteria as stipulated by the Constitution of the Republic. So legally, if the first lady meets this criteria, why not? She's eligible, but she has to meet this criteria. The question to you, Fambulem Unawede Bakam, does she meet the criteria? Because we play videos as well where she proudly says, and I like her for that, I'm a Gambian. I think she used the word even proud. I'm a proud Gambian. Imagine, that's on the record. There's another video that says, I came to Sierra Leone when I was 3 years old. I was brought to Sierra Leone. So she's not indigenous to the land. She wasn't born in Sierra Leone. The Constitution says, by birth, if you want to aspire for this position, you have to be by birth a Sierra Leonean, meaning born in the country, one of the criteria, and she's not. But legality is not the only issue, Fambul. Legitimacy, ethics, and democratic optics matters just as much. So there are many other aspects to this. The ethical and democratic question about the entire exercise, Fambulem, as we come towards the end, I want to make it clear to you now, which is the ethical and democratic question about this entire exercise. So even if legally qualified, talking about the First Lady, several civic concerns have been raised or will be raised or should be raised. A, the abuse of incumbency. Abuse of incumbency. B, a sitting First Lady has access to 1, state platforms, public resources, 2, 3, government visibility. So when we say the abuse of incumbency, is because as the sitting First Lady, she's a very powerful woman. She can influence her husband, get things done the way she wants it done. Other institutions of state, as we've seen physically, that she's been doing, pushing, manipulating, maneuvering, asking, requiring, intimidating, threatening, coercing institutions of state to work in a favor, whether it's the finance ministry, whether it's the Ministry of Education, whether it's the Ministry of Health. I mean, this woman is really just very powerful. She's got state platforms as a First Lady. So there are no rules like in other countries that will limit, the access or create a ground for fair play in which others that may have a similar intention will be able to have a similar platform to perform, the type of money that they would need, which should be affordable, because as First Lady, I'm sure she's got access to limitless cash for things that she wants to do. So not very many people can compete with her on that level. And politics is money, which has to do with public resources and government visibility. So government promotes her a lot. The TV stations, the radio stations carries her audios and speeches and what have you. The television stations carry her every time she has to do this public functions. So with all of the foregoing, it's obvious that this creates an uneven playing field. So what this also helps to do is it creates a conflict of interest. A presidential bid by the spouse of a sitting president, it raises fears. Is it not clear, ladies and gentlemen, that with all of this, what we've seen, what's happening, what potentially could happen, it creates this balance of a public, this cycle of unbalance, access, where she's very powerful, she's got everything, all the tool materials needed. How can somebody else contest with her? When even the laws are weak and she's got access to the laws and weaker laws, and they are all tuned to her favor. So this conflict of interest is seriously a problem. So a presidential bid by the spouse of the sitting president does resist the following fears, which are power consolidation, dynastic politics, institutional capture, which I've just spoken about before even, I'm stating what happens to be this simple facts. Simple facts. So power is consolidated in where power already exists. Dynastic politics, the president in West, sometimes in Peking or in Grand Peking or in uncle or in niece, then kind of family dictatorship, and institutional capture. The radio station, they work for you. The bank, they work for you. You can go there and just go take money. The Ministry of Finance, just sign out checks. Everything in your favor. The newspapers are acting in your favor. Everything is just promoting you. Institutional capture. Democratic optics. In a country already which is struggling with the issues of trust in institution, such a move could deepen public suspicion, political prioritization, and fears of authoritarian drift. Remember a couple of days ago, we talked about authoritarian drift, but this is what it leads to. So public suspicion, political polarization, and fears of authoritarian drift. So national mood, in this sense, with economic hardship and governance concerns, many citizens view the idea as insensitive to the country. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope those of you that have watched here tonight will help to ensure that this goes a long way. Let me see, somebody's made a long comment. Not very many people commented, and to me, it's a sign that people are quite listening. So, okay, this is from a brother, Albert David, to Prince and the two brilliant ladies on the platform. Your collective voice is a force this generation genuinely needs. The clarity with which you question constitutional legitimacy, the courage with which you challenge the complacency, and the integrity you bring to public discourse reflects a rare blend of intelligence, conviction, and moral discipline. Your advocacy is not noise, it is necessary pressure. I like this. Your advocacy is not noise, it is necessary pressure. It is the kind of principle insistence that keeps democracy honest and honest. So yeah, it is the kind of principle insistence. So we continue to insist on a principle basis. But ladies and gentlemen, this brings us, to the end of this program. Based on First Lady's ambition, it's a principle one, whether it's a one based on gravity, on a solid foundation, whether it's just to rattle rattle us, distract us. But we've made the case here today for every one of them. Okay? Distraction, is that what it is? We've made the case. It's up to you to make up your mind. But one thing we have to know as we leave tonight, democracy is imperial. It is imperative on our part as citizens with a constitutional mandate, a duty, civic, to ask the tough questions, to hold our politicians accountable. Yes, we can physically hold them, and it's not necessary because that would be assault, but I'm saying use the power of your microphone, use the power of your voice to hold power to account. Silence is complacency. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the TNN podcast, I've been your host and presenter, Prince Emil Kroma, saying good night, and we'll catch up soon with another round of powerful delivery from this platform. Please share to family and friends. Let's gather the numbers so that the algorithm can favor us, because that helps us to continue to do what we're doing in the interest of Mama Saloon. Stay strong, stay brave. Let your voice be heard. Good night and goodbye.